Welcome back. Here in Paris, in the artistic quarter, vintage poster shops like this one are extremely popular. In South Lebanon, though, hand-painted posters of men who've been killed in combat are commonplace. Now, they're not exactly everybody's idea of art, but they are a deadly serious business.
Advertising billboards are everywhere in Beirut. The posters reveal a consumer society keen on a Western lifestyle and fashion. But driving south out of the city, the street posters begin to change their tone. Here in South Lebanon, it is the hand-painted portraits of young men that are most in view. These are known as martyr posters, honoring men killed in the conflict with Israel.
When Israel invaded, it killed these martyrs, so we created portraits of them, on the walls and in our hearts.
Some may find the posters unsettling, glorifying war and death. But for much of the local population, such posters carry quite an impact.
Yeah, of course I consider it art. Anything that's painting, especially of a person, you know, in remembrance, of course it's art.
One of the most well-known painters of martyr posters in South Lebanon is Musa Trad.
I don't just paint martyrs, I also paint still life. But by coincidence, I began painting martyrs at the same time the resistance started and the war, and people dying. We shouldn't forget them.
Musa has hand-painted hundreds of martyr posters throughout his life. Symbolism is an important part in his paintings.
I like to add a flower in every martyr painting. It represents martyrdom. It's my own style. People immediately recognize my paintings. With the colors I use, I revive the martyr, as if to bring him back to life.
Lebanese militias, as well as the families of men killed, commission the posters in order to remember their dead. Wajih Muhammad Ali also produces martyr posters. At his garage in South Lebanon, he may use the airbrush on cars, but for his posters, he now travels to Beirut to use the latest digital printers.
In Beirut, there's more freedom. They are more inventive. After all, we are working in a commercial art form, and we have to keep up with the market. We don't have this know-how in the South.
Wajih admits that technology is taking the creativity out of his painting.
It cancelled everything that is art and the artist, and replaced manpower with the machine.
This is what traditional hand painters like Musa are up against. It's the printing press Hezbollah is now using to run off hundreds of its own political posters.
Our aim is to have a unified campaign so all our posters have one identity.
Whether it's propaganda or art, Hezbollah makes the most of digital technology to convey its message. Hezbollah are media savvy and understand their potential audience extends beyond their Shia Muslim constituency in Lebanon.
The eyes of the world are on us, so we're not just interested in targeting local neighborhoods in Lebanon. Even Europeans are now interested in our situation and who we are.
Hezbollah's more high-tech posters could mean local painters will soon find themselves with less work on their hands.
All these computer-generated posters, they don't mean anything to me. They don't give me anything.
But Wajih maintains a philosophical outlook.
I wonder who might paint my portrait when I die. We are all martyrs to be.
For our next story, we head to Finland, where a new generation of musicians is attracting worldwide attention with their unusual sounds. Now, the music is a little bit of a mix of the old, the new, and the something quite unexpected, all inspired by the haunting beauty of their surroundings.
Deep in a forest in Finland, a quiet musical revolution is taking place. Made up of various musicians and artists from all over the country, this new Finnish subculture has created a highly inventive and unique musical world.
I think I will use just like some little tiny sounds and maybe a bit vocals and something really quiet.
Lau Nau and Kupu are among the new generation of musicians whose DIY approach fuses traditional folk forms with a highly individual sense of modern experimentation.
For me in music, what is important is it's the emotions that it can present or capture or affect. Like it's a highly emotional thing. The music that we make. We don't know what's going to happen when we start to play. You never know if it's going to work really or not.
I know it's good if I'm a bit scared of hearing it because it feels like I didn't do it. Like it was, and it's kind of surprising.
That's the greatest moment when you're recording and you're like, wow, like this sounds so good. I can't believe it. And that's the reward. We got really a lot of media attention for being Finnish, and we got this category of forest folk and free folk and new weird Finland or whatever, and it's always dangerous when you get put in a small box and hyped, because that means that after 1 year that's not cool anymore. And that's not what this is about. We are not trying to be cool. We are trying to just have fun, and make music.
The music's appeal stretches way beyond the borders of Finland. It has a true international following, and many of the artists regularly tour Europe and America. Many of the musicians working within the scene have been documented by Phonal Records, a small Finnish record label run by Sami Sampakila from his flat in Tampere, a city 2 hours north of Helsinki. Not content to be just a businessman, Sami is also an active member of the Finnish music scene, making and recording music under the name of S.
Whenever you try an instrument, you try it out, I can easily find the sound that I like the most. Yeah, you can hear there's a little whistle there with the low sound, so that's really interesting to me. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it or the wrong way to do it, but if I hear something like that, that's what I get interested in.
This unrestricted approach to making music, this sense of playfulness and freedom, not only defines this Finnish movement, it is the very essence of its creativity.
It would be hard for me to imagine to play in a band with drum, bass and guitar. Because there's so much more more sounds in the world.
that is it for this week. We do hope you'll join us again for another episode of Arstworld. Bye-bye.